Let's look at task 2A from the 2025 National 5 Admin and IT exam. Now this is the first spreadsheet question, and you'll see here the March pick your own fruit summary shows how much fruit has been picked and bought. Open the spreadsheet file fruit picking and complete the worksheet March summary following all the instructions. So let's now open that spreadsheet. Now here we are in the fruit picking spreadsheet and I'm in the March summary. Now I've actually brought across the question, I've done a screen grab here just so we can see what we need to do, but you wouldn't normally see this when you open up the spreadsheet. So what do we have to do here? Well, there's a series of notes or comment boxes, they're called notes here actually, and they are all numbered. So we could start doing this in number, but maybe what we should do is just double check the question so we know we're in the correct sheet, and we'll print off later. But I do see underneath black currants have not grown as well this year, so we have made the decision not to sell these as pick your own. Delete this row. So I might as well just do that now. Click on the row that's got the black currants. It's the whole row you have to click on. Right click and then delete. We're not clearing the contents, we're deleting everything off. And it also says we now have the figures for week 4. Enter the information in below. So it looks to me like it's weights of fruit. Strawberries, it's got 75 kilograms, so we'll type in 75 there, and then 19. 8 kilograms for blueberries. I'm not putting the kg in because the other data doesn't have that in, it's just the values that we need, so that's why I'm not putting in the kg text, just typing in the numbers like that. Now let's look at all the numbered boxes. So the first one here, blueberries were £11.40 last year, the price has increased by 10%. Insert an appropriate formula for the new price. So in cell G4, we start with equals, we always have to when we're doing any kind of formula function. So we type in £11.40 and we have to increase by 10%. So if we type in 1.1, so if you think about it, if you multiplied £11.40 by 1, you would get £11.40, and if you multiplied £11.40 by 0.1, you'd get £1.40. So 1.1 will give us the new price with the 10% increase. The other way you might choose to do it is just click again equals £11.40 times, you might type in 110%, maybe that makes more sense to you. But that's how we're going to get the price increase for the blueberries. Now, I'm going to delete this box off straight away. You might want to hold off doing that and wait until the very end, just in case you want to check anything, but I'm confident I've got the right answer here, so I'm just going to right click and delete the note. The second note says insert an appropriate formula to find out how many kilograms were sold of each fruit. Well, we'd put week 4 in previously there, so in cell F9 we're going to go up to the auto sum on the ribbon. There's a formula, equals sum, open bracket, B9 to E9. Everything is correct, just click on enter and that formula is in. To copy it down, just go back up to the cell where you've put the formula in, get your mouse, thin black cross, right bottom right hand corner, left click and drag will copy that formula down for you. I'm just now going to delete that note. Number 3, insert an appropriate formula to calculate the total overall picked. Now that note is sitting in F13, so we're going to do another auto sum, again up to the ribbon. It has highlighted from F9 to F12, that is correct. Let's just click on enter. Go back up and I'm going to delete the note. Note number 4, insert an appropriate formula to calculate the total income from each fruit. Well, we've got the price per kilogram up here and we've got the total kilograms down here. So starting in cell G9 equals the kilograms in F9 multiplied by the strawberries in G3. and click on enter, go back up, and we can copy that down because that will then pick up the blueberries, gooseberries and raspberries in the formula. So note 5 says insert an appropriate formula to calculate the average number of fruit picked and format to a whole number. So in cell F14, click in there first, going to go up to the autosum, to the right of the autosum, click on it, get average, and check it's highlighting all the numbers you want. Well, actually it's not. We want the average number of kilograms for the strawberries, blueberries, gooseberries and raspberries. This formula is actually including the total picked, so that will really skew the average figures if we include that 718. So all I'm going to do is go back with my mouse. I'm just going to re-highlighting myself just these 4 types of fruit. This is what I'm wanting the average of. Once I've done that, I can click on enter, and it's giving me here 179.5, but it's asking us to format to a whole number. So let's click on the number that's got the decimal there. Different ways to do it. You can actually do the decrease decimal to take it off, and that would round it up there to the 180, and then I can delete that note. Number 6 says format all cells appropriately. Well, I think just looking at it we've done that, so I would say I could just delete that note because that has been dealt with. So now we have to print it off, and it's saying here print a copy of the March summary worksheet in value view. Well, this is what we're looking at. This is value view. It needs to be landscape with grid lines only. So I would recommend that you highlight the selection of data that you want, go to File, go to Print, alright, switch it to Print Selection only, that's what I've highlighted, and change it to Landscape. Now what it's asked for is grid lines only, and I can see there's actually nothing on the sheet. So if I go to Page Setup, and I switch to Sheet, and I tick grid lines, click on OK, and that is what they were looking for. If you need to put your name, task number, school or whatever, remember you could go into Page Setup again and go into Header Footer and then Custom Footer, and then you could type your details in there. So that is printing off in Value View, and let's just go back. And the second one was print a copy in Formula View, landscape with grid lines and row and column headings. So as it happened, this is actually still highlighted from before. I'll just leave it there to show the formulas, different ways to show the formulas. Go up to Formulas up there on the ribbon and click on Show Formulas. Now you'll notice here that it's really sort of stretched out. We don't maybe need as much stretched out as that, so let's just maybe narrow a few things in. Let's just see if that's all going to fit, but make sure that the formulas can be seen in full. So let's go back to File, to Print. Once again, that's fine. It's selection, its orientation, and actually I have it on fit sheet on one page to make sure that it definitely does fit. So that would be the second printout you would need for task 2A. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention was for this printout it was to show row and column headings also. So that'd be a case of going back to Page Setup, back into Sheet, and selecting the row and column headings also. Click on OK, and that is actually what they were looking for the second printout.